Hello everyone! In this video, I will tell you about the second season of the Ben 10 cartoon. Don't forget to like it and watch it till the end. So, let's begin. The second season starts with Max Tennyson and his partner defeating Vilgax in the past, when Max was a space janitor. He shares this with his grandchildren. Later, passing by the woods, they encounter an alien. Ben tries to catch it but encounters Phil, Max's former partner. Grandpa introduces Phil to the grandchildren, and he asks for help in catching space dogs. Ben turns into a dog, and Phil offers him to become a janitor after learning about the Omnitrix. Later, it turns out that Phil has organized an illegal business capturing aliens. He releases them first, and then captures them to make money. When Max finds out about this, he tries to stop Phil, but Phil sets an alien on him. Thanks to Ben, who saves Max, the heroes together stop Phil by sucking him into the projector, which releases and captures aliens. In the next episode, trying to transform into lightning, Ben gets a new alien called Core, whom he initially considers useless. It seems like a reference to Spider-Man. Suddenly, a giant planet-eating beetle lands on Earth, devouring and destroying planets. Along with it, some crazy aliens who worship it arrive. The beetle starts slowly destroying Earth, and none of Ben's aliens can defeat it. In the end, our hero transforms into Core, and with its help defeats the monster, realizing that this alien is not as useless as he thought. Essentially, the main ability of this alien is its sturdy armor. It usually curls up into a ball and rolls at very high speeds, thus attacking enemies. In the next episode, Kevin returns and starts committing crimes by transforming into aliens absorbed from Ben's Omnitrix. Our heroes witness this and try to stop him. Lieutenant Steele, the head of the alien task force, also joins the hunt for Kevin. It turns out that after absorbing the powers of the Omnitrix, Kevin cannot return to his human form, and he blames Ben for it, setting him up deliberately. Eventually, they confront each other in a battle on the bridge, where Ben emerges victorious, and Kevin somehow returns to his human form. However, he then transforms into a symbiosis of 10 aliens from the Omnitrix and again blames Ben. Ben even mocks this cliché, which is inherent to their cartoon. In the end, with the help of Lieutenant Steele, Ben defeats the new version of Kevin. During the fight, Kevin and Ben are captured by the evil robot Slicks and forced to battle in an arena. Kevin once again blames Ben and tries to attack him, but special shockers are placed on them to prevent disobedience. They are forced to fight against a local champion named Technork. After defeating him, Kevin wants to finish off their opponent, but Ben stops him. In gratitude, Technork offers to serve Ben, although Ben tries to refuse. Later, the heroes devise an escape plan and successfully flee. As Ben was nearing his journey home, Kevin attempted to thwart him and cause destruction, but Technork, filled with a sense of duty, helped Ben return, staying behind to battle Kevin. After a filler about space heroes, there comes a series about space mushrooms. Frankly, there's nothing particularly interesting happening in the series itself, and it looks like filler. The only value of this series is that Ben gains a new alien whom he calls Vine. The essence of this alien is that it's essentially a living plant, with plant-like properties and abilities. After another filler, the evil sorcerer Hex releases his niece, known as the Sorceress, from prison to seek revenge on Gwen. Using magic, he discovers her whereabouts and sets out for vengeance. Meanwhile, our heroes arrive at a magic fair where Gwen purchases a magical bracelet and uses it to save people on the street. Later, she discovers that the stone in the bracelet is magical. But didn't you destroy them when you fought Hex at the cemetery? Turns out, not all of them. Then our heroes attend a magic show where Hex and the Sorceress attack them. Our heroes defeat them, but the Sorceress pretends to be on their side and stealthily steals the stone, giving it to Hex, who begins a magical ritual to recreate the 5 magic stones and regain their powers. When the stones are almost recreated, the Sorceress betrays Hex, but our heroes stop her and destroy the magic stones again. After another filler, a ghost demands in Ben's dream to be released. The next morning, our heroes head to the academy, where Gwen wants to apply. At one point, former henchmen of the clown Zombozo attack the academy. To stop them, Ben wants to transform into the Human Torch, but the Watch intervenes and turns him into a ghost, which takes control and beats up the villains. When time runs out and Ben returns to himself, the ghost breaks free. Hearing this, Ben flees and discovers that the ghost is afraid of sunlight. Meanwhile, the ghost teams up with circus performers against Ben and tries to take the watch from him. However, Ben still manages to defeat it with sunlight. In the next episode, while tinkering with the Omnitrix, Ben accidentally breaks it, causing him to transform into a hybrid of two creatures instead of regular transformations. And when Dr. Animo attacks again, he steals part of the watches to create monsters. Our heroes will manage to stop him and fix the Omnitrix. Interestingly, this episode seems to be a filler, but I'm not sure. Nevertheless, I mentioned it just in case. In the final episode of the second season, Kevin decides to team up with Vilgax against Ben. At the same time, Ben discovers a new function of the Omnitrix: transformation into aliens at will and instant change. At the beginning of their alliance, Kevin and Vilgax do not see eye to eye. Their conflict escalates into a fight, but they eventually decide to unite and head to Earth to attack Ben. Unable to defeat him, they turn to Grandpa Max and Gwen. In attempting to attack them, Max resorts to using the Null Void projector, sending the villains into the Null Void. Trying to attack the villains, Ben gets captured along with them. Although Ben manages to escape, Vilgax realizes that Max will have to open a portal to save his grandson. Therefore, he and Kevin decide to take the Omnitrix before that happens. Meanwhile, Grandpa plans to go after Ben, but Gwen convinces him that she should go instead. Dressed in costume and equipped, she sets out to rescue her brother. When she finds Ben, they are spotted by enemies and taken captive. Threatening Gwen, they force Ben to surrender and remove the Omnitrix from him. However, he had reconfigured the watches, so they couldn't figure them out. Afterward, Kevin betrays Vilgax and tries to fly away with the watches, but Gwen manages to take back the Omnitrix. As our heroes approach the portal, enemies appear demanding the watches. Gwen then tosses the sphere Vilgax is pursuing, while Kevin stays behind to seek revenge. Eventually, our heroes manage to return, leaving the enemies in the Null Void. Upon his return, Ben is upset about losing the watch. However, Gwen pulls out the Omnitrix and claims she deceived Vilgax by throwing away the bomb sphere. She hands the watch to her brother, concluding the second season. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if so, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. That's all for today.